Chapter 11. Natural Disasters. Learning Objectives. Different natural disasters. Causes of natural disasters. Ways and measures. Disaster management. Let's begin. Oh, this is such a bad news. An earthquake hit Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Thank God it was not so powerful, otherwise it could have caused tremendous damage to life and property. Nature is all-powerful. It has given everything to us, food, shelter and clothes. But as nature gives with open hands, it can take all back within minutes with its power. Nature is the maker of all things, and it is also the destroyer of all things. We can witness the destructive force of nature in the form of natural disasters, such as earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, droughts, landslides, volcanic eruptions, cyclones, hurricanes, etc. Although we cannot stop nature, we can prepare ourselves to face the destruction. Earthquakes. The upper layer of the earth, called the crust, is a thin layer. Below this layer are the tectonic plates. These plates keep shifting and hitting each other time to time as they lie on the molten rocks present in the Earth's mantle. Whenever these plates collide with each other, they produce minor or major earthquakes. Occurrence of earthquakes is a regular activity. Most of the times, these earthquakes are so minor that they are not even felt by us. Problem arises when these earthquakes occur on a major level. The greater the intensity of an earthquake, the greater the destruction will be on the surface of the earth. The point from where the earthquake starts is called the focus, and the point where the earthquake hits on the surface of the earth is called the epicenter. This is the most dangerous point, and major destruction of life and property happens here. High magnitude or high intensity earthquakes can even destroy huge buildings and kill hundreds of people at the same time. Precautions. Use proper techniques for constructing large and tall buildings. Earthquake safety measures should be followed and pasted on the walls in all buildings. During an earthquake, do not stand near the outer walls or windows of the house. Get out of the building quickly. If this is not possible, take cover under heavy furniture. Be aware of the do's and do nots during earthquakes. Do not enter the building immediately after an earthquake. Tsunami. Tsunami is a Japanese term which means harbor waves. Tsunami can be caused due to various reasons such as underwater earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or high-intensity underwater explosions. Whenever the seabed is disturbed, it causes tsunami. Large amount of water from the sea comes out and floods the adjacent areas. Tidal waves carrying massive amount of water hit the land and cause major threat to life and property around. The tsunami waves can go up to 100 feet high and travel at a speed of 600 km per hour. The tsunami that came in the Indian Ocean in the year 2004 affected 14 countries, including India. Large number of people died because of this natural disaster. Precautions. People who live in coastal areas should always be aware and prepared beforehand. One should remain updated and aware of the tsunami warnings. If there is a warning, one should evacuate the area and reach for the areas with higher elevation. Volcanoes. When the magma from under the surface of the earth rises above and spills out in the form of lava, it is said to be a volcanic eruption. The molten lava, under the pressure of heat, keeps thrusting towards the crust or lithosphere. When it reaches a weak surface or a crack, it comes out from that area. A huge amount of ash and molten rocks in the form of lava and gases erupt from the volcanoes, through an opening called the vent. When this lava cools down, it takes the shape of a mountain. The bowl-shaped hollow mouth formed at the top is called a crater. Volcanoes are of different kinds. They erupt at different times. Active volcanoes. As the name suggests, these are the volcanoes that have erupted in the past and can erupt anytime in the future as well. The Barren Island volcano in Andaman and Nicobar Islands is one such active volcano in India. Dormant volcanoes. These volcanoes have not erupted for a long time but can erupt in the near future. Mount Kea in Hawaii is one such dormant volcano. Extinct volcanoes. These volcanoes are considered unlikely to erupt ever again by the scientists because there is no supply of lava in them. These do not show any signs of activity. Dinodar Hills in Gujarat, India, is one such extinct volcano. Precautions. Inhabiting or visiting places with an active volcano or recent volcanic activities should be avoided. If there are any signs of a volcanic activity, that place should immediately be evacuated. The government or the local authority should make proper arrangements in situation with any sign of volcanic activity. Local people should be made aware of this, and the precautions to be taken should be explained to them beforehand. People should keep a disaster management kit with them at home and in their vehicles. This can include the first aid kit, canned food, water bottle, torch, protective clothing, mask, etc. Fact frame Mount Krakatau in Indonesia was considered to be an extinct volcano. It had last erupted in the year 1680 CE, but in August 1883 it erupted again with a very powerful and loud explosion. This explosion was the biggest explosion recorded in history. It was even bigger than the atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. Floods. A flood is a natural calamity that occurs when the water of the nearby rivers overflow and submerge the dry lands. The most common reason for floods to occur is heavy rainfall during monsoons. Floods may also occur if the glaciers on mountains melt on a large scale. These floods take some time to submerge the affected areas. Besides these, there are flash floods as well. As the name suggests, these type of floods occur suddenly. These occur when clouds burst and large amounts of water is precipitated in a small area. This causes extensive damage to life and property in that particular area. Breaking of a dam or barrage release massive quantity of water at once and cause flash floods. The areas affected by floods become prone to many diseases as the flood water becomes stagnant. There may be some dead animals, human beings, or other organisms in water as well. This poses a great health hazard for the living beings in the flood-affected areas. Precautions. The areas which are hit by regular floods should be properly embanked, taking the danger of being flooded again into consideration. The drainage system in our houses and localities should be built in such a way that they could drain the flood water easily and quickly. Evacuation measures should be pre-planned and the local people should be clearly instructed about them. Clean drinking water, eatables and other necessities should be pre-stored in case of emergency. More and more trees should be planted in the flood-prone areas as a safety precaution. Drought. Drought occurs when there is no rain in a particular area for a very long period of time and the water in the land does not get replenished. The land becomes severely dry and hence all the vegetation gets destroyed. Drought can kill vegetation, animals and humans as well. As there is no water and food, the people and animals living in those areas die of hunger. The fields dry up and the farmers are no longer able to grow any crops. It is a very critical calamity and has killed thousands of living beings in the past years. India alone faced 22 major droughts between the years 1871 and 2002. The drought of 1987 was the worst drought of the last century. Precautions. Reservoirs, dams, and water tanks should be built and maintained in drought-prone areas to provide water at the time of need. Rainwater harvesting should be done in those areas. Wastewater should be recycled and reused to save water. Drought-resistant crops, such as maize and millets, should be planted. Cyclone. When the high and low pressure winds come together in the coastal areas, they create a circular motion. This motion then takes the form of a cyclone. Cyclones are storms made of aggressive winds that blow at extremely high speed in a circular motion with a center of low pressure. A cyclone is accompanied by heavy showers and causes damage to life and property. A cyclone can destroy anything that comes in its path, uproot trees and houses, etc. The weather authorities name the cyclone that comes in the coastal regions of India like Odisha, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Hurricane and tornado are other forms of a cyclone. A hurricane is a large rotating storm with high-speed winds that are formed over warm waters in tropical areas. The winds blow at a speed of 74 miles per hour. It has an area of low pressure at the center, which is called its eye. A hurricane can also be called a typhoon on the basis of the region it affects. A tornado is a violent twisting windstorm. It is formed when the air in a thundercloud keeps spinning with wind and keeps sucking more air into the spinning column like a giant vacuum cleaner. Tornadoes cause great damage to everything that comes in its way. Precautions. Early warning systems should be installed in the cyclone-prone areas. This is necessary to warn people in time and help them to evacuate the place. Trees should be planted in these areas as they help in countering cyclones. Construction should be done, keeping in mind the cyclonic activities. Disaster management. Natural disasters are uncontrollable. Nature has a very powerful force against which humans can't do much. However, these natural disasters can be faced by staying prepared for them. Being prepared for a natural disaster is called disaster management. It stands for a wide range of activities one undertakes to control the effects of disasters or emergency situations. It includes steps to create awareness among people and preparing them to face the situations. Forewarned is forearmed. If proper early warning systems are installed in areas prone to natural disasters and people are adequately trained, then the risks of damage might get minimized. Inclusion in education system. Disaster management should be included as a subject in the school books. This should be done to teach students all the safety measures and precautions that can be taken in such situations. Mock drills and other exercises should also be done to make them aware of such situations. Formation of emergency response team. An emergency response team would be better prepared with a quick response for emergencies and natural calamities. Recall, natural disasters occur in nature such as earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, droughts, volcanic eruptions, cyclones, hurricanes, etc. Tsunami is caused due to underwater earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or high-intensity underwater explosions. It has the capacity to destroy everything that comes in its path. Cyclones are huge storms of high speed that move in a circular motion and have a center of low pressure surrounded by high-pressure winds. Disaster management stands for a wide range of activities that are initiated to maintain, control the natural disasters or emergency situations.